Hello everyone, this is Heart of Cards here, back with a update video for my Orcust deck profile. Once again, mainly used to speed out Azothot, but a bit more consistent this time, because the last one, I just watched back and saw it, and god is it bad. So now, we are playing 2 Orcust Nightmare, 2 Brass Bombard. I know I said you could, like, run it at 1 last time, but now, since we're gonna be playing, like, a lot more Orcust, it's gonna be a lot more useful. 3 Symbol Skeleton, 3 Harpor, 2 World Wand, just because you're gonna be consistently banishing your Harpor, or your Orcust Nightmares. In something like Harpor, you don't want to ever put that, like, back in your, deck using Galatea, because you want to use World Wand to summon it back out to go into Time Thief Redoer. And 1 Nightmare Corruptor Ibly, because it's just faster to get out something like Mermaid, and then get the discard and get the summon on Orcust Nightmare. Next, for Orcust Spell and Traps, we are running 1 Babel, and 1 Orchestrated Return. We're not running Terraforming this time because I realized that Galatea searches out Babel, and if you have it in your starting hand, it's not that good. But Orchestrated Return is actually pretty good in the starting hand since it gives you just that added draw power. Next, we're once again running the 3 Danger Mothman and 3 Danger Dogman because I'm a cheapskate and I don't have anything better. Now, the next cards are proxies, because, the store that I always buy cards at don't actually have these cards, but you're supposed to run 3 Scrap Recycler, because it's more or less like Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher, but the new versions, it's not dark, but it's, level 3, Machine, Earth, and it sends a machine from your deck to your graveyard whenever it's normal summoned, I believe. Armageddon Knight and Dark Grepher at 1, as always, and then 1 Foolish Burial, and 1 Rhoda. Rhoda's, of course, used to summon out, or to add Dark Grepher or Armageddon Knight. Last time I said you use it, to search out Phantom Knight monsters. No, don't do that, because then they just become bricks. Unless you have a way to discard them, then they're not that bad, but you still want to send them to the grave using Bardiche. Speaking of Phantom Knights, we have 1 Silent Boots, 1 Ancient Cloak, Rank Up Magic Launch, Fog Blade, and Brigadine. More or less the same as last time, but this time you don't search them. You never search these cards. You just either let them come to you, or you just set them or summon them from the field using Bardiche. Then we got, of course, the 3 Ash Blossom, this time 3 Effect Failure, and a new addition to the deck because I found it in a pack, Contact C. Now this card is interesting against something like Salamangrates, because yes, they might be able to go into Nightmare Phoenix, but if they don't have that, they can't do anything. So it's kind of funny, but I think it's a pretty good card. Then we're running 1 Red Eyes Black Dragon. This will make sense a bit later, but I'm running this just for kind of shits and giggles. Then we got 3 Called by the Grays, 1 Twin Twister, 1 Mass Change 2, 1 Card Destruction, 1 Monster Reborn, 1 Solemn Strike, and 1 Appropriate. People probably haven't heard of Appropriate before, but it is amazing. So, when it says you can activate this card when your opponent draws a card outside of his or her draw phase. Draw 2 cards from your deck. So, let's say you have this set, you activate Card Destruction. You discard your entire hand. Your opponent, let's say this is the very start of the game, your opponent discards 5 cards. And then, when they start drawing again, you activate Appropriate. So, as they draw 5, you draw another 10. And people don't expect that. Now, I haven't actually been able to test it out yet, because I haven't gone to tournaments in a while, or at all, because I have been a bit more focused on school lately. but I think it's going to be pretty funny. Then for the extra deck, we have one Nightmare Mermaid, one Nightmare Cerberus, one Nightmare Phoenix. The same as last time, but this time, you use Nightmare Cerberus or Phoenix to go into Mermaid, or you use something like Orcust Nightmare or Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. And then get the discard, and then summon out the Orcust Nightmare. Then we got one Galatea, Orcust Automaton, and one Longarisu, the Orcust Orchestrator. Now, Longarisu was not in this deck last time, but it is amazing, especially if you have Babel on the field, because it says, send two Dark Machine monsters from your banished pile back into your deck, shuffle your deck, and then target one link monster your opponent controls that this card points to, and destroy it. So, you want, like, Rusty, and then Longarisu, and then it's pointing up to your opponent's extra monster zone, and whenever it's summoned there, you can activate his effect to destroy it. Now, at the end of the turn, you're probably going to end up with two Dark Machine monsters in your graveyard, so that's kind of perfect. Then we have one Rusty Bardiche, one Summon Sorceress, and one Topologic. Summon Sorceress is a new addition to the deck, but it's just so good for combo plays that people don't really notice it. Then we have one Beals, the Diabolic Dragons. Now, if you have something, if you have access to something like Overload Savage Dragon, then I would definitely go for that instead, because you have Orcust Nightmare, you have Dogman, and I'm gonna probably side deck Pankratops, and then you have the Brass Bombard, that is a Dark Tuner, that's level 1, and you can just go into like any level 8 Synchro monster. But for now, all I have is Beals. Then we have the Dark Law. Dark Law isn't the main part of this deck anymore, but it's still a really good part of it, because since we're not running like Shadow Mist anymore, we don't really have a way of searching it out, but it's more of like a contingency plan. Then we have, instead of Break Sword, I'm running one Leviair, the Sea Dragon. And that's because it says, once per turn, detach one material from this card, then target one level 4 or lower banished monster, special summon that card to your field. Now, you can use that to special summon something like Simple Skeletons or Harp Horror, and then be able to send them back to the graveyard for using them next turn. But you more or less use that if you have both Phantom Knight monsters on the field, or even if you have like two Simple Skeletons, since they're also level 3. Then you have the one-time Thief Redoer, one Azothot, and then this is the reason why I was playing Red Eyes earlier. Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. You can detach one to summon a Red Eyes normal monster from your graveyard, and then number 11 Big Eye. Now I noticed I'm running like a lot of level 7s in this deck, so it's like, you know what, might as well play rank 7s, and so far it's doing me pretty well. Like, I've more or less taken a few games with burn damage from Flare Metal Dragon. Next, we have our side deck, and this is mainly used against something like Salamangreats, but we have Super Poly, Fusion of Fire, and Violet Chimera. Now, these three cards are specifically against the Salamangreat matchup, and you can more or less just use their monsters to summon out Violet Chimera, and then just get in a crap ton of damage. And then for the Ditto matches, you would play 3 Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. Because it says reveal a card in your extra deck, and then your opponent banishes all cards in their extra deck with the same name. That's especially good if you're against another Azothot deck. You can just reveal your Azothot and then stop them from using their Azothot. But yeah, that's it for the side deck, and that's it for the video. So I'll see you all next time, and remember, have faith in the heart of the cards.